All right. We are live. Can you guys give me a hello or a hi in the chat box if you can hear me? I know there's only a couple of you in here right now, but that's fine. Can you give me a hi or hello so I know that you can indeed hear me in the awesome. We are good to go. Thanks for joining me. Hi, everyone. It is Sunday night. It is January the 20th, and this is Clay's Canucks Commentary live on YouTube. I'm Clay Emo at Canuck Clay on Twitter. I'm at Clay Emo on Instagram. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, and this is my Canucks take, all in one take, in my weekly live YouTube live stream. I guess is the best way to put it. It's been a good week. I'll talk very quickly about the week, and then we can get into your questions already, because I think the last couple times I've waited too long to answer your questions, and then we run out of time. So let's go. Since last Sunday, the Canucks played 3 games, and they lost one. They lost the first one in Winnipeg, and they lost by a score of 4-0, and they ended up with 2 wins at home. 3-1 against Arizona on Thursday night, and then 4-1 on just last night in the Lunar New Year game hosting San Jose. And very quickly, the 4-0 game in Winnipeg, they actually played very well. They didn't play awesome. They lost 4-0, but they threw a lot of shots at goalie Connor Hellebuck, who, as you guys know, I have on my fantasy team. So I was kind of embarrassed actually that I forgot to bench him. But so I dressed him. I got the 5 points for the shutout. But they played okay, but obviously a little frustrating not to score any goals. Then they come home. They play a very solid game against an Arizona team, basically playing for almost first place in the division. Travis Green beating Rick Tocchet. And then last night, the Lunar New Year game, a very convincing 4-1 victory over the San Jose Sharks. Some other things, cool things that happened. Obviously, we learned at the start of the week that Quinn Hughes would be going to the All-Star game as the last man in. And we didn't, I think that was actually the end of last week. So now we know that 3 Canucks players going. And all 3 got in different ways. Pettersson was named by the league. Markstrom was named by the league as a replacement for Fleury. And then Hughes was voted in as the last man in. It would be cool if Travis Green got to go as a coach. But hey, Arizona didn't have any players. The Canucks already had 3. So I think they wanted to at least spread the love a little bit. Also, some other cool milestones. Bo Horvat and his wife Holly announced that they are pregnant. A very cute post on Instagram covering up their dog Frenchie's eyes. Not that the dog can read. I'm not sure why they did that, but basically Bo Horvat expecting shortly after they got married, which is pretty cool. Then I heard Alex Edler, all-time franchise leader in points for defensemen for the Vancouver Canucks. Tanner Pearson, 100 career goals. Adam Gaudette, 100 career games. Jake Virtanen, season high in points. So many cool milestones happen this week. As well, 2 personal notes that that I was pretty excited about. Many of you saw, many of you gave me some great feedback. Thank you. I appeared on the CBC weekend magazine show called Our Vancouver. Did a nice 8-minute interview with Gloria Makarenko, and basically talking about my history as a Canucks fan, my fandom, and my faith as well, and how they play. That's my lovely wife, Gail. Gail, why don't you wave? Yeah, so she is very humble. She allows me to do these things. And yes, she's going to be cleaning up in the background. It kind of looks bad that I'm just sitting here playing on the internet while she's doing all the hard work cleaning up. But I did help earlier, I promise, before I had to get online. And we had some family over for a family dinner tonight, which was really good. So I was on Our Vancouver, felt very comfortable. We recorded that actually. I'll take you behind the curtain. We recorded that on Wednesday, and they aired it today, and they're airing it tomorrow. They put it online yesterday. So thanks again for the great feedback. And if you haven't seen it, I invite you to check that out when you have some time. I actually talk about the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, which is kind of cool. I got to share that and the origins of that and the reason behind that in the interview. And then, of course, last night, as part of the Lunar New Year game, I was working as an influencer. Believe it or not, someone actually thought that I could influence people. I worked as an influencer, working with TD Canada and TD to basically help with their TD wishing tree. And we had more than 888 people come, write down a wish for themselves, for their families, for the hockey team, hang it up on the tree, a tree full of hockey sticks. And it was a great way for the Vancouver Canucks to celebrate the Lunar New Year. So all in all, it was a great week. I feel very blessed for these opportunities. That's why I'm wearing this blessed shirt tonight. The Our Vancouver interview, the Lunar New Year stuff, and of course the Canucks winning 2 of the last 3. And most importantly, I can't believe it took me almost 10 minutes to say this, or no, only 5 minutes to say this. The Canucks are in first place in the Pacific Division. They're only team with 58 points. Yes, there's a logjam behind them. Edmonton, Calgary, Vegas, Arizona all have 57 points. And Edmonton's the only team that's played the same number of games as Vancouver, 49. So they're truly 1 point behind. The other 3 teams are also 1 point behind, but they have at least one or two games. They played 1 or 2 games more than the Vancouver Canucks. So it was awesome. If Vancouver only got a single point yesterday, we would have had a 5-way tie atop the Pacific Division, and that would be crazy. And one last thing, and then we're going to get to your questions. One last thing. I stupidly thought that all the teams were off for this entire week leading up to the All-Star game. But no, the Canucks have their league mandated week-long break now. It just happened, and a lot of teams have it now, but not all of them. So Vegas is still playing actually on Tuesday. So they have a chance. They're the only team that has a chance to go past the Canucks in the standings prior to the All-Star game. But if not, then the Vancouver Canucks will be in first place in the Pacific until at least Monday the 27th or Tuesday the 28th. We're going to preview the rest of their week coming up, but let's get right into your questions. Thank you for your patience. Not bad. I only took 5 minutes to do my intro this time. Going to take a drink of water, and I'm going to dive right in. And once again, thank you to everyone for joining me tonight. We'll go to 11 o'clock as usual, and then at 10:45, one of the boys promised that one of them would join me. It could be Jacob, it could be Sean, it could be both of them, but we'll see what happens, and we'll have to. Don't ask any questions to those guys until you see who it is, and I'll make sure I get to all of them, just because I don't want them to get lost in the feed as well. Hope that makes sense. All right, let's go. Curtis, yo, I say back to you, yo. HSM Fangirl Gaming, hey Clay, I'm back this week. Thank you for being back this week. What are the odds that Vancouver hosts the All-Star Weekend in the next 5 seasons? They haven't had it in a while, and I don't know, HSM Fangirl, how the league decides. I think you want to go to at least a team that's doing decent. I guess it doesn't matter. You can't predict how well the team's going to do. I actually, if anyone wants to look it up, I don't want to Google it in front of you guys, and I don't know it off the top of my head. When the last time the All-Star game was here in Vancouver, put it down in the comments. I'd love to know, and then we will go from there. And then, but no, I don't know. As Vancouver is a Canadian market, a very rabid market, and with a team that's improving steadily, I could see them hosting a game in the next decade. I don't know if the next 5 years, but someone let me know when the last time they hosted. That would be cool. And if you're bored, or if you're waiting for me to answer your question, I would not object if you press that like button, that thumbs up, but that's up to you as well. Okay, Sheldon, with Markey playing in the All-Star game, do you think he starts in the first game back after the break, or will they go back to Demko? Great question. Obviously, Demko got the last game before the All-Star break. Given that the All-Star things happen on Friday and Saturday, 24-25, and the Canucks play at home on the 27th against St. Louis, the defending Stanley Cup champions, that's a big game. But I've never, ever subscribed to the theory that only Jacob Markstrom can play the big games. For me, I don't think there's a huge drop-off from Markstrom to Demko, so I would feel comfortable giving Demko the start. But I do think that if Markstrom doesn't overextend himself during the All-Star weekend in St. Louis, I could see him starting that game, and then we're in San Jose on the Wednesday. So we play Monday, we host the St. Louis Blues. On Wednesday, we play in San Jose, and then we're off to Long Island and Carolina for a back-to-back Saturday, Sunday. And I don't think Markstrom's going to play both of those back-to-back. So I see them splitting 2 and 2. What order it is, I'm not sure. I could make an argument for either way, Markstrom or Demko starting the first game back. Obviously, if you let it be Demko, then between NHL games, Markstrom will have almost 2 weeks between games, right? He last played Thursday against Arizona, and then he wouldn't play until Wednesday in San Jose. So that's almost a 2-week break, of course, doing all-star duties and practicing in there. So I'm fine either way. I think it go 50-50, but I love, if you want to put a comment and give me your thoughts, that's cool as well. Oh, by the way, when you're leaving comments about a question that I ask or it's something I refer to, can you kind of type out what you're referring to? Because a lot of times I'll be 3 or 4 questions down the road and then I'll see your answer and I can't remember because I'm not that bright. I can't remember exactly what you're talking about. So if you're going to leave an answer to a question I asked, maybe kind of reference the question. That would be a big help to me. All right, thank you. Goblin Toss Gaming, hi. Goblin Toss Gaming, when will you be on the C4 podcast again? Great question. For many of you know, I helped start that C4 podcast with Chris Golden. He's at Light Force on Twitter, a good friend of mine. We live 5 minutes apart in Steveston and Richmond. And I was there for about 2 or 3 years, or 3 or 4 years as it got started. Then I haven't been there for the last 3 or 4 years. I came on to be a guest on their 200th episode a few months ago. I have great respect for what they do, Chris and Adam and Matt and Anna. But I don't know, if they ask me, I'm sure I will entertain it. Always love to go back and support them, but maybe they don't need me anymore. I think they've moved on to bigger and bigger and better things. But if they ask me, I would certainly entertain being a guest on the C4 podcast for sure, because I do respect what they do. I respect what a lot of the podcasters in Vancouver are doing. It's a big market. There are a lot of people doing it, but it is a big market, and I think there's room for all of them. All right, let's keep going. That's a great question. HSM Fangirl Gaming, what do the Canucks have to do to get home ice advantage in playoffs if we make it? What do they have to do? I'm not sure if you mean technically they have to finish in the top 2 spots in their division, right? Because 1 will play wild card and 2 will host 3. If you mean home ice advantage, that's technically what they have to do. If you're talking about what sort of things do they have to do to maintain first or second place, I think they got to stay healthy, they got to get good goaltending, and they have to continue to get secondary scoring. Those are the 3 big things to me, probably in that order: health, goaltending, and secondary scoring. But HSM Fangirl, if that's not what you're asking, let me know. But I think I covered both. How do they do it? You get a home ice advantage if you finish first or second in the division. And what do they have to do? Like I said, stay healthy, good goaltending, and secondary scoring. Fernando, hi Clay. Hello, Fernando. Ammon Beer, Dylan, Clay, nice interview on CBC. Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, it had a good time, like I mentioned off the top. And I always, the second time I've been interviewed by Gloria Makarenko, actually, I really like her, enjoy her. And I felt very comfortable on there. I've never met a microphone or a TV camera or a camera that I didn't like, obviously. But thank you for that. What do you think of Besser playing on the third line? Good question. I think it's okay, but I don't want to see it permanently. Obviously, Virtanen has played very well with Miller and Pettersson. Maybe they're putting Besser on the third line because you don't want to disrupt the Horvat, Eriksson, Pearson line. Not sure what happens when Ferland and Levo gets back, but we'll worry about that later. As for Besser on the third line, maybe it's a way to get Gaudette and Roussel going, but they've been okay. Then they came out like gangbusters when they were first put together with Virtanen. Slowed down a little bit. But Besser's still getting his power play time. But ultimately, I don't think you want to spend. That's Mickey. Hey, Mickey, I'm talking. Can you go help Mom or something? If you keep barking, Mickey, I'll bring you up on the podcast though. And I think that's a lot of money though to be paying a third liner. I think that's so. When we come back, here's a clip. Thanks, Gail. Bring him on here for a sec. This is Gail. This is Mickey. Say hi. All right, thanks. I think that's just making too much money to be on the third line permanently. I'm okay in stretches. I'm okay in spells. And the cool thing is you can put him on the third line, but you can always go back to putting him on the top line. But let's see what happens after the All-Star break. I was talking to my brother about it. My brother was one of the people over last night. He thinks something's wrong with Besser, despite him slowly, not so slowly, accumulating points. He's still playing, accumulating points. But, I don't know if I want Besser on the third line for too long. I think we're just simply paying him too much money. You could say that about Louis Eriksson on the second line, though, as well. Although Louis Eriksson has played very well. It's kind of cool. He's almost like an underdog. I don't know how a $6 million player becomes an underdog, but somehow he is, and we all want him to do well. Jamie's Sport Talking More. Hey, buddy, how's it going with you? I'm great, Jamie's. How are you? Thank you for asking. I hope you're doing well. And yeah, like I opened with, it's been a great weekend, and everything's going well. Thank you. Rob, hi, saw you on the news last night. Good work. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. Fernando, where can I see the interview, Clay? Fernando, if you just Google or in YouTube, either one, Clay Emo CBC Vancouver, it'll come up. But I've also in the vlog I did earlier today, I put a link to the video as well. I've also tweeted it out. So Fernando, either on Twitter or my other YouTube video, my most recent video, or just Google, like I said, Clay Emo CBC Vancouver, you will see that 8-minute interview. But thank you for asking, Fernando. Rob, hey Clay, nice seeing the interview with Gloria and yourself. Thank you, my friend. My question is, where do you slot Michael Ferland once he's ready to come back? If healthy, he could be first in the playoff. Yeah, Michael Ferland, actually, more than of the July 1 guys. Remember, JT Miller was a June 22nd acquisition. July 1 guys, Myers, Ben, and I'm not sure if Fantenberg was then as well. Yeah, and I think it was Fantenberg and Myers, and I think that and I can't remember. I think Ferland was signed a little later in July. Let's just say of all the July signings, I was most excited about Michael Ferland because I remembered how he destroyed the Vancouver Canucks in the 2015 playoffs and how he struck the fear in all of our defensemen and all of our forwards. And I really want him to do well. Obviously, he's had some really bad luck with concussions. I thought that he'd be a top 6 player for sure. And then in my head, I put him with Pearson and Horvat, and you can keep the Pettersson, Miller, Besser line together. But maybe he comes, a lot's going to happen before then because what do? Do you bring Louis Eriksson out? But he's playing so well on that second line. Do you rotate Sutter and Beagle out, keep one of them in, take one of them out because one of them's a center, and put Furlan on the 4 line? I'm not sure. I think in a perfect world, he plays on the second line with Horvat and Pearson, but he simply maybe might have too much ground to catch up on this year because of his injuries. So maybe he slots in on the 3rd or 4th line. We shall see, and I hope that he comes back soon. He gets another week to continue to recover from his concussion, go through the protocol, and just be overall stronger. But yes, I want him to do well. Not so much about the contract, just because I think he can be like I said, I agree with you. I think he can be a force in the playoffs as well, given what he did. Good example was 2015 when he was playing with Calgary. Great question. Austin, hey Clay, it was nice meeting you. You're a great person. Austin, thank you very much. It was great meeting you as well at the game. Thank you for saying hello. Not a planned meeting, but I'm glad that we saw each other. And I think you're a good person as well, but thanks for the support as always. Rios Dread, hey, I saw your part on our Vancouver. Thank you, Rios. Yeah, I know you put that in my vlog earlier that you were saying that you're watching me on TV as you're watching that. So thank you. I had a good time doing that for sure. Jamie Sport Talk, do you think we will win the cup this year? As the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, I'd love to say yes, but no, I don't think we're going to win the cup this year. I hope that as I said in my interview, I hope we win the cup in my lifetime. I think this year is too soon. There's too many other strong teams, but I do think we can make the playoffs for sure. And I do think that we could actually surprise some teams in the playoffs, maybe win a round or two, but to win the cup, a lot of things got to go well. And I simply don't think we are deep enough yet. And I don't think that our big players like Pettersson, Besser, Horvat, even Hughes don't have enough of that experience, but you never know. We could catch lightning in a bottle. I obviously want them to win the cup, but if you're asking me realistically to bet on it, no, I would not bet on the Canucks winning the cup this year, but they could do some damage in the playoffs. We'll see what happens. Van City fan, Clay. Van City fan, hey. Goblin Toss Gaming, can I join the GLCPC? And how did I do that? I joked about this earlier, both in the interview, and I tweeted it out actually. GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club, it's self-admitting. There's no membership fees. There's no application. It's lifetime membership. All you got to do is fulfill 2 criteria. You got to be good looking and you got to be a positive Canucks fan. Positive Canucks fan, that's easy. Good looking, that's really where your self-admission comes. I'm not here to judge. So if you think you're good looking and you're a positive Canucks fan, then you are in the GLCPC. No invitation required. You are in and you are in for life. So Goblin Toss Gaming, welcome to the GLCPC. Van City fan, big fan, Clay. Thank you very much. Can you give me a shout out? My name is Brennan. Hello, Brennan. Thank you for the loyal subscription, the loyal watching, and the loyal support. Thank you, Brennan. Thank you to everyone. If you put your name in there, I'm going to mention it for sure. So, Brennan, thanks very much. I appreciate that, Van City fan. Mr. Nutsack 100, there's a name for you. Clay, if the Canucks stub their toe and end up missing the playoffs, will Green get canned? No, I don't think Green will get canned. Yeah, they might. If somehow 3 or 4 other teams do better than them in the Pacific Division going forward, and they just miss the playoffs, I don't think Travis Green will get canned because of what we've seen already in the first 2/3 of the season. I would give him 1 more year, and it has nothing to do with the JT Miller trade and the draft pick that goes back to Tampa. I would give him 1 more year, but no, I don't think you get canned unless they somehow really flame out and get bombed in the last third of the season. But no, I don't think Travis Green will get canned. I think ownership likes him. I think management likes him, and I think he's obviously doing some really good things right now. But never say never. We've seen 7 coaching changes already this season, which is crazy. Jamie Sports Soccer More. How do you go live on your YouTube channel? It's an option when instead of pretending you're uploading a video, there's another button that says live, and then you can go live right away, or you can schedule it like I do for 10 o'clock. Then I got to make sure I'm sitting in front of my computer at 10 o'clock when it goes live. Although I still have to press 1 more button to make it so. Andrew, okay, no. Sim Alexander. What team do the Canucks have the best chance of beating the playoffs? Great question. I know what team I don't think we have a chance, the best chances. I'm always scared of the Vegas Golden Knights. They've dominated, they've owned us over the past 2 seasons that they've been. I know we beat them in the middle of December, which was nice. We beat them at home, very exciting game. But overall, Vegas scares me. They're fast, they're skilled, they are big, they can score. And with Marc-Andre Fleury, when he's on top of this game, he can steal series on his own. So that's who I don't want to play against. Arizona, I think we match up well. We showed that on Thursday night, but I just think that'll be actually a boring playoff series. But if we want to win, I'm fine with that. And I'm actually fine with either of the 2 Alberta matchups. I think we match up really well against Edmonton. Of course, it's challenging to check McDavid and Draisaitl, but I think we have equal firepower in guys like Pettersson, Miller, Besser, and Hughes. I think we have a player in our back end that they don't. Calgary's an interesting matchup too, because I think there's more bad blood. There's the last playoff team that we played against last time we were in the playoffs. There was that John Tortorella dressing room incident, although a lot of the key players have changed. But I think Calgary's a tough team, but I think we match up against them as well. So I think in order, I would want the Canucks to play, of the four, the big four that we're competing with, I'd want them to play against Edmonton, and then I'd go Arizona, Calgary, and Vegas. Edmonton for sure is a team I think we'd have the best chance against, and I think Vegas is the team we'd have the worst chance against, and I think Calgary and Arizona are right in the middle of those two teams. That's my thought. We'd love to know your thoughts down below. Van City fan, advice on what game I should go to. I'm on a budget. Well, Van City fan, any of the games I think for the rest of the season, you'll probably be able to get decent tickets, whether it's through Ticketmaster or StubHub. I hear people getting into the arena $30-40 a ticket, so that's possible. I know that I sell tickets as well. I only have 3 games left, but I sell them at a reasonable price. If anyone wants me to send me their ticket list, shoot me an email. I'll type it right now in the comments. My email address is clayemo. I'm typing right now, clayemo@shaw.ca. If you want me to send you my ticket list, I will, but I only have 3 more games to sell for the rest of the season. So I think really you could, I can send you my list, or you can go on StubHub or Ticketmaster. I know that there are deals to go around for sure. So really, I wouldn't worry so much about the budget from a standpoint of generally the prices are going to be consistent across the board. It's really what teams do you want to see, what players do you want to see. TJ, do you want Bester playing with PD on the same line? Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. I'm not sure if you heard that, TJ. I hope this third line thing is kind of not permanent, because I think we're paying him too much money, and I think he's much more dangerous, much more effective. That line is scary when they're clicking, but it's at the same time, it's been great to see what Jake Virtanen's been doing on that first line. Real Shred, what skill do you think Pettersson and Hughes are going to do in the All-Star? Oh, that's a great question. I definitely think they should both be in puck control. Definitely in the passing. I think Pettersson will be in the breakaway shootout, whatever it's called. I don't know if either of them are going to be the fastest skater, because even Quinn Hughes, I think he's a really nifty skater, but I'm not sure if he's the fastest skater. But maybe he's going to go in that. But I definitely think anything that has to do with hand-eye coordination, so puck control, passing, shootout, maybe shot accuracy for Pettersson, I think any of those would be ones that they could be involved in. But we'll see. They got to spread out the love, amongst all the players in the Pacific Division. But I'd love to know what you guys think as well. Goblin Toss, I think the All-Star game is awesome for Hughes' growth because he gets to learn from all the great players. What do you think? Absolutely. You look at what Bester did 2 years ago, MVP. You look at Pettersson last year. It's two things, right? It's getting recognized by other teams, other players, other fans on a global stage. I think that's really cool to be recognized as one of the best players in the league. And yes, just to learn, just to hang out with. It's not like a Draisaitl and McDavid and Kachuk situation. Hughes or Besser or Hughes or Pettersson or Markstrom haven't made any enemies. So I think it's going to be a wonderful learning experience for a guy like Quinn Hughes. Not just hang around other D-men, just to hang around other veterans, see how they relax, how they enjoy themselves, yet how skilled they are. And I think it'll be eye-opening for Hughes, and it'll be a great learning experience for him. And it certainly won't be his last All-Star experience. So I can't wait for it. I think it's gonna be great. Dan, 1998, last time Vancouver had an All-Star game. Thank you, Dan, for that info. So yeah, we're due. That's 20 years ago, right? 22 years ago now. So maybe it is indeed time for Vancouver to host it again. Thanks for that info, Dan. That's great. Edmund, hello, sir. That's what you said to me. I say hello, sir, to you back. Thank you, Edmund, for your loyal support as always. Goblin Toss, what's your favorite show to watch? Whoa, that's a nice out-of-the-nowhere question. Non-sports-wise, I love watching the Canucks, obviously, but the one show that I will PVR and will always watch is Criminal Minds. I really like that show. They're in their last season right now, but Criminal Minds is the one show I like to watch. Designated Survivor, I used to watch that. 24, when that was on. I'm not a big Netflix guy. I know there's a lot of really cool shows on Netflix, but really, when I watch TV, it's either the sports, sometimes it's the news, sometimes it's WWE. I admit, I can't believe I just admitted that, but I think some of you guys know that already. I definitely I love myself some Criminal Minds and some Survivor. So I'll go with Criminal Minds for sure. Good question. Edmund, curious, Clay, how do you deal with trolls on your channel? That's a good question, Edmund. I honestly don't mind them. I don't pay attention to them. I'll read their comments still, and I just laugh it off now. Because if someone disagrees with my take, that's one thing. But if someone goes homophobic or racist or sexist or makes fun of my religion, then really I don't even bother responding, because all you do, you know, that term of feeding the trolls, all it does is it really just gives them more ammunition to go on. And they don't bother me. When I first started, I wouldn't say they bothered me, but I would pay more attention. Say, oh dang, you know, I wish I didn't get this negative comment, or I wish this person. Honestly, anytime I release a parody song, the trolls come out. And even when my interview with CBC Vancouver, I saw not on my channel, but on CBC's channel, when they posted the YouTube channel. If you want to go there, I saw some people, you know, someone said, go start a riot, bald head, or something like that. Another person said, please stop. I maybe think I'm overexposure or whatever. But no, that stuff doesn't bother me. I know it comes with the territory. Anytime you put yourself out there creatively, vlogs, blogs, songs, poetry, TV, whatever it is, I know that there's going to be some people that they don't like it. They don't like you. They don't like what you say. They may be envious. I'm not saying that about me, but maybe there's that as well. Maybe they think they can do a better job. Whatever the reason, it's not for me to judge, and it doesn't bother me. Very, very truly, it doesn't bother me. I'm not just saying that and trying to be all strong and crying inside. No, it doesn't bother me at all. And it comes with the territory, right? If I didn't want, if I was scared of that kind of stuff, then I shouldn't be doing anything in a public medium. Great question, Edmund. Thank you. TJ, Clay, do you think we should package some depth players and prospects to add a top 6 forward at the deadline? Good question. I addressed this last week, and I'll probably have to address it every week because it's going to be a big question. I wouldn't move at the deadline. I really think the Canucks are already showing that they can play at the top of their division, and depth players and prospects, I don't think you want to give up any prospects, and especially any of our top level. I know you're not suggesting TJ. It's like a guy like Hoglander or Podkolzin that we're packaging, but I'm not sure. It's hard to package depth players because there's not much of a market for them. So we'll see. You know, there's a lot of these expiring contracts, UFAs, RFAs. There's a lot that's going to go on in the next 3 or 4 months that will be interesting, and especially the next 6 weeks before the trade deadline. But no, I don't think we should. Your question was, do you think we will? It was, do you think we should? And I say no. I say stay the course. And if we make the playoffs this year, bonus, that's awesome. But I think they want to be making the playoffs next year and the year after that. So I certainly wouldn't be trading away any prospects. If you can somehow find a taker for some of your depth players, guys on contracts that don't expire, then go for it. I just think those trades are very, very hard to make. But great question, TJ. Goblin Toss Gaming. I don't think Besser should be on the third line. He was accumulating points by assists and point per game. Besser's my favorite player, and I really miss goal scoring Besser. What happened to him? Great questions, Goblin Toss. Like I said, it was something my brother and I were talking about earlier today. I don't know if it's a bit of a confidence thing. I don't think it's an injury thing. I just think maybe one thought I had was we have other guys scoring. We have Tanner Pearson lighting up. We have JT Miller, who we didn't have last year. Pettersson, of course. So we have guys that can score as well. They may not be as have the same type of shot or release as Besser has, but they score in other ways, right? Deflections, tip-ins, breakaways, goal mouth scrambles, whatever it may be. So scoring's up for the Canucks. So it's not like Besser's not scoring and we're hooped. We have more people scoring. So I think really it might be a bit of a confidence thing, but even that, I've started to see some really good parts in this game. I'm not worried. My brother seemed to be more worried about him. I'm not worried, but I do think we need him on the top line. But maybe I'm being too flippant or too dismissive, but I'm not worried about Brock Besser. I think right now doesn't he have 43? Just checking. Yeah, he's got 43 points in 49 games. That's a pretty good pace, on pace for about 70 or so for this season. So we'll see. Great question though. Let's keep on going. Lefty all around. Hello, host. Hello, Lefty all around. Thanks for coming. Lefty all around. They're on a winning streak with Besser on the third line, so why change it? That's a good question. It's the same reason why Jordy Ben can't get in the lineup, because the Canucks have won 11 of the last 14, and the last half of those 11 have been with Oscar Fantenberg, not Jordy Ben. I might have said JB Ben, but Jordy Ben for sure. With Besser, yeah, there's one thought that says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, which I agree with to an extent, but I do think Besser is making a lot of money to play on that third line. But we'll see what happens. But I don't think he's complaining. He is contributing. He's still picking up an assist here and there, playing on the first power play unit. So, yeah, I would not freak out if they did not change it, but I think a lot of people in this fan base would. We cannot win this cup this year, but within 3 to 5 years, they will challenge for the cup. I would not disagree. I actually agree with that. I don't think we'll win the cup this year, but I think, imagine 3 to 5 years from now when Pettersson and Hughes and Besser and Horvat are all 5 years older, better, and then you guys have Hoglander and Podkolzin coming up in the lineup. I think they could do some really good things. Andrew, how do you think Myers has slotted in the team so far? I feel he's been good defensively, but he's prone to clumsiness. Yeah, he is a high risk, high reward player for sure. I think he started the season great. Then he kind of tailed off in November as the team tailed off. But he's been solid. Like whether you play him with Alex Edler or you play him on the third line with Fantenberg or Ben, I think he's been okay. I'd give him a B or B minus. So he hasn't been brutal, but he hasn't been outstanding either. I do think we can get more offense out of him on power play 2 unit and just overall. He's a good skater for his size, but yes, he does make a lot of mistakes. And there's a couple game stretch where he was really seemed out of position, out of sorts, diving at the wrong time, trying to block passes at the wrong times. But I think he's found his game once again as the team has found his game. So I think he's been okay. I don't mind the contract right now. I might mind it in 4 or 5 years, but for now, I think Myers has been okay. Who is more likely to get fired first, Benning or Green? Oh, that's a good question. That's a good. I don't really want to talk about this too much because I don't think either of them will get fired. I do think that Benning and Aquilini's are really tight. So as we've seen, you usually see a coach get fired more than you see a GM. So if I had to pick one, I would say Green, but I don't think it's happening. I think he's done some really good things with this team and fans, ownership. They like him. They like Travis Green. They are first in the Pacific Division right now. Green will not get Canada this year for sure. I agree. The players like him too. He is not an old miserable fart like so many of them. I presume like you're saying like so many of the old coaches, not so many of the players. But yes, I agree with that too. Jamie Sports, when we get to the playoffs, how far do you think we can go if we don't get to the Cup this year? In theory, you think if they're finishing the top half of their division, they're favorites to win the first round. So I could see the Canucks getting out of the Pacific, right? That should be an expectation if you finish first, unless you come up with a crazy wild card opponent. But I could see the Canucks getting out of the division. So technically, that means 2 rounds, right? And then you're going to have to go against a team like St. Louis or Colorado in the third round, which would be pretty tough, I think, for the Canucks. So at most, I think they can go 2 rounds, and that would be a huge improvement this season if they did that. So we'll see. Daniel Hammond, Clay. Hey, Clay, I'd like to stay, but I got to get up in a few hours, so have a good night. Daniel, thank you. No problem. And thank you once again last week for the generous donation. And thanks for stopping by. You can always check out the archive video on my channel later. Miguel Ramo, good morning from Sweden. Good morning. Thank you for being here from Sweden. I love it when there are people from other countries on here. So thank you for getting up and spending a few minutes before work or for school with me. Jamie Stark, I love WWE. Okay, that makes 2 of us. Edmund, who is your favorite wrestler currently and of all time? All time, I love Ricky Steamboat. Even before he became the Dragon, or at least they made him dress up like a dragon, WWF. I loved him in the old NWA, his battles with Ric Flair. I think he became more of a gimmick and more in WWE or WWF at the time, but NWA, I definitely liked Ricky Steamboat at the time. Right now, I enjoy guys like, who's my favorite wrestler currently of all time? Well, I'm trying to think of who comes on, who do I really like? I like guys like AJ Styles and I know not currently. I like guys like Bret Hart and AJ Styles, Kurt Hennig and Ricky Steamboat. Guys who aren't the biggest, they aren't the strongest, but they have a nice combination of power and skill and athleticism and technical knowledge. So right now, I'm not necessarily a fan of the program he's in, but AJ Styles I do like. Would I say he's my favorite? Maybe not. I don't mind Roman Reigns actually. Some people think he's overexposed, but yeah, don't have a lot of favorite wrestlers now. I kind of like the throwbacks, the older guys, the more technical guys, but I still love watching the show. I can't believe a 45-year-old man watching WWE. Fillmore Wax, some Sharks fans actually like the Canucks. Yeah, and I think it goes both ways. There are a lot of Sharks fans in the arena, but I definitely know that a lot of Canucks fans in San Jose, in the Bay Area for sure. Lucas, hey Clay, looks like I jumped in a great time. Hope you had a great time last night. Glad to meet you finally. Yes, Lucas, it was wonderful meeting you. Thanks for saying hi. It was great to say hello, to meet. I think there's your brother, your cousin, right? That was with you. I'm glad you got to meet my wife, Gail. And yes, thank you for the interaction, mostly on Twitter. I love how we can go back and forth and support each other there. So Lucas, once again, thanks for your loyal viewership and for sticking with me and supporting me in my exploits when it comes to the Canucks. I appreciate that. That's awesome. There's my email address. That's if you want tickets, shoot me an email and I'll send you my list. Jamie Sports Talk and more. Okay, Reels Dread. Thoughts on Patrick Kane, 1,000 point today. Oh, I didn't know that he reached the 1,000 point. Obviously, that's a great milestone. Thank you, Real Stress. Dread. I like Patrick Kane as a player, despite some on ice stuff when he was a lot younger. Despite that, he would give the Canucks fits for 2009, 2010, 2011 playoffs. But I really like him as a player. He's one of the best U.S. players ever to play, and I really like his game, his speed, his skill, his stick handling, all those things. I like him a lot. I would love him if he was on our team, and I'm glad we don't get. I want to see him more, but I'm glad he's not destroying us like he used to. But yeah, I do like Patrick Kane, and thanks for bringing that up, the 1,000 point milestone for him. Jamie Sport talk and more. Who would you like to win this year's Royal Rumble? Good question. Someone new, just someone who hasn't won it before, someone that they can elevate. Maybe a guy like Andrade or someone like that, Aleister Black, someone like that. But someone who hasn't won it before, but it's a big ask, right? Because that person then's got to go and headline WrestleMania. So we'll see about that. Rob, what's your opinion on goaltending situation once Seattle comes in the league? No question in my mind, we'll lose one of our goaltenders to them. Can you see the Canucks moving a goalie? Yeah, this is, I think, is going to be the biggest storyline heading into the June 2021 expansion draft with Seattle. I do think the Canucks will sign Jacob Markstrom to a 3 or 4 year contract before his contract runs up July 1. And then you get to next year, and if Markstrom is still knocking out of the park as number one goaltender, then I think you have to move Demko. And if you don't want to lose him for nothing, then you got to trade him sometime next season, which is crazy. Or do you try and trade him this offseason? I don't want that to happen. I like Thatcher Demko. I've said many times here before that the Canucks had high hopes for him, Luongo type hopes for him. But the contract situation, the expansion situation, and Jacob Markstrom's strong play may force their hand. I can't believe I'm saying this, but they could look at trading Thatcher Demko sometime starting this offseason. Who knows what's going to happen? But you're right. If you expose Markstrom and Demko, Markstrom, you could risk exposing him, and then Seattle says maybe that's too much money for an older guy, but that's so risky. It would be so bad if we exposed Markstrom and then he got picked up. I think if you had to pick one, you're going to expose Demko, and then maybe there's a lot of good young goaltenders. Maybe 3 other goaltenders get picked, or maybe someone else that the Canucks expose gets picked instead of Demko. Right? You can only pick one, lose one player, so. A lot of things could happen. It's going to be very fascinating to watch. But if I had to, I would expose Demko, but I would try and trade him first. But I would hate for that to happen, quite frankly. Do you think McDavid's tradable? No. Lucas, going into the All-Star break, what? And then it got cut off. So what? I'm sure you filled it in down below. Carmen, hey, I know that my Seahawks are not going to the Super Bowl. I was wearing their shirt earlier today. But this year's Super Bowl will be awesome with the Niners and Chiefs. Yes, I think this is the matchup that people want to see, a very high-powered offense versus a very good defense. Yet San Fran has the ability to put points on the board as we saw today. It should be a great, great game. CDM85, do you think Tkachuk will fight Cassian and win challenge? Are you looking forward to the next Calgary-Edmonton? Yes, I am looking forward to the next Calgary-Edmonton game on the 29th. Same day that Brandon Sutter gets to face off against Joe Thornton, Canucks and Sharks. Maybe not as exciting. Do I think Tkachuk will fight when challenged? Oh, that's such a tough question, because we've seen that he doesn't want to fight. He'd rather turtle. Yet maybe there's going to be enough pressure to get to him. But I heard Brian Burke saying that the officials are going to be at that game. They're not going to expect any monkey business or any silliness. So maybe he doesn't fight. Maybe someone else fights for him. But then he's going to be called a coward, a turtle, a chicken. And maybe that won't end until he actually fights Cassian, and then boom, it's done. Thankfully, Cassian wasn't hurt, although he did get suspended. So we'll see. Do I think Tkachuk will fight Cassian? My gut feeling is no, but maybe he should. How's that for a sit on the fence answer? Dexter, even though Besser's racking up points, his play still looks off. His shot isn't nearly as good as rookie season, and he constantly bad pass. Yeah, Dexter, the bad passes is the one thing I did notice. I think it's gotten a little bit better, but I think I said this last week. Brock Besser passes the puck so hard. He passes the puck as hard as he shoots it. So it's very hard to receive his passes sometimes. And other times he does like to go across the ice, especially on power plays, often giving the puck up. So I think he can be a little bit better that way. But yeah, I'm not sure if something is off with him. Like I said, I didn't think so, but my brother does. Dean, if you had to make a trade at the deadline, what would you do? Well, I've been on record saying I don't think the Canucks should make a trade. But since you're asking me if you had to make a trade, I would try and trade Eriksson or Sutter for a more prolific top 6 winger. And obviously you're not going to get a top, you'd have to throw in a sweetener or some prospects. And I just finished saying I don't want to do that. So if I had to make a trade, I would not want to get I would only trade for a top 6 forward, but that's going to cost a lot. But that's what I would try and do if I had to make a trade. But I don't know what that would take, quite frankly. Going into the All-Star game, do you think the Canucks have a chance of making the playoffs this year? Yes, Lucas, I think you missed earlier saying, yeah, they have as good a chance as anyone else in the division. They're on top of the division, albeit by 1 point, but they have as good enough chance. And I do think it's going to be a team like Edmonton that falls out of contention by the time the playoffs come around. So yes, I do think the Canucks will make the playoffs, and I'm more sure of it now than I was at the start of the season when I gave them a 50-50 chance. Canucks have very good depth this year in case anyone gets injured. Yeah. They have a good player, a good 7th defenseman in Jordy Ben that isn't playing right now. So you have at least one extra guy on the D. Up front, when healthy, they have 14 NHL caliber forwards, or 15 even, because right now Schaller's not playing, or he was benched the last 2 games. Levo's not playing, and Michael Furler's not playing. So you could argue that there's 15 NHLers. You can even argue Goldobin and Berchi make it 17. So yes, the Canucks do have enough depth, but obviously it always comes down to chemistry and how well guys are going with each other at a certain time. Good point. Timothy Mattis Jr. Hey Clay, hello Timothy. Goblin Toss. I wish Myers was a mean player like Chara. He could destroy people. That's pretty disappointing. Yeah, Myers does not play as big as he is, right? Because he skates well. He's more offensive player as opposed to a bruiser. But once in a while, he can crack it. It was nice to see Edler's hit, by the way, last night on Kevin LeBlanc, I think it was, in the corner. That was pretty good. Timothy Mac, thanks for the live vid. Anytime, Timothy, every week, 10 o'clock on Sunday night. Lefty, I have to agree with you there. Goblin Toss Gaming, good point. Not sure what point he made, but I'm sure it was good because Lefty all around agreed. Hey, Clay, what do you think of Besser, and do you miss old Besser? I think I've talked about this enough already. I think Besser's okay. I think he just needs to go on a run, but 43 points in 49 games, still pretty good. I miss old Besser, but I don't think there's a new Besser and old Besser. I just think it's an evolution of a team. And he's still gonna have a couple years under this 3-year contract where he can do some good damage. So I'm not worried about Besser, is my point. Do you think we'll get a chance to see Olli Juolevi if we aren't in a playoff spot? If we aren't in a playoff spot, I could see guys like Juolevi or Brogan Rafferty getting a chance. I don't think you bring him up now as we're fighting for a playoff spot. So yeah, I think there's a chance we see Olli Juolevi. I don't know how to handicap that chance. Maybe 30 to 40%, maybe even 50% chance if we're out of the playoff hunt. But I think this Pacific Division is going to be so tight that I think the playoffs is going to go all the way down to the wire. So we shall see. What are your thoughts in regards to Thatcher Demko being a future starter, #1 goalie? I think he has the tools. I think he has the mental game. He has the physical game. I like a lot of things about him. It just simply might not be here because we have Jacob Markstrom playing even better this season than he did last season. So it's kind of tough, kind of what I talked about when it came to the expansion. Timothy, thank you, and God bless you. God bless you too, brother. Parveer, what do you think about Jake Virtanen? I love him. I've talked about him, I think, all 3 weeks that I've done this. Is my 4th week. I like Jake Virtanen. I've always liked him. I like his family. I've met them. I know that he put his head down and got to work that 1 year in Utica, his 2nd season. And I don't think we should trade him. How's that? I know that I'm surprised that hasn't come up yet. That came up in all 3 live streams before this. Yes, he's building up his value by playing so well, but by building up his value, I think we need him on this team. And I know he's an RFA. I know he's going to, in terms of new contract, I'd give him a 1 or 2 year, a short show me contract one more time before he goes for his next longer term contract. He's only 23 years old, I think. So I think there's a lot of time with him, but I like him a lot. I love what he's doing, and he's showing that he's maturing as a hockey player. Do you watch New Japan Wrestling? No, I don't. AEW, no. I don't watch either. I read about AEW online though, Edmund. Ash, what do you think about the tight conference? The conference is tight, but I think you mean about the division. The division is crazy. 5 teams separated by 1 point. Like I said, if Canucks only picked up 1 point last night opposed to 2, it would be a 5-way tie atop the Pacific Division. I think Edmonton's going to drop out. That's my prediction. And I think it's going to be Vancouver, Vegas, Arizona, and Calgary. One of those teams obviously being a wild card team. Just watch your interview on CBC. Thank you, Fernando. George, hey, Clay, huge Canuck fan. Oh, cool. So we have Israel and we have Sweden. Awesome. Thanks, George, for tuning in. Dexter, read the article about the goaltending situation on Canucks Army. Really good read. I will take your advice, Dexter. I'll take a look. So how you doing? Jacob being very good. It's hard to decide. Jacob being very good. Oh, yeah. I'm sure you're talking about between Jacob and Thatcher. Jamie, Sports Talk teams. I like DX and the Shield. How about you? Yeah, I like the factions. I think factions led to, gang warfare, better storylines, all that kind of thing. I can tell, Jamie, that you like wrestling a lot. Meg Remo, curious to know what you think have been the biggest differences with the team compared to previous years. I think Pearson, along with the Horvat line, is taking pressure off the first line. Yeah, I think our goal, actually 4 things that I can think of right off the bat. Goaltending is stronger than it's ever been, at least in the past few years. Secondary scoring, Pearson, Gaudette, Levo, Virtanen, Eriksson even. I think that's been huge. I think we've never had a player like Quinn Hughes is a big one. And I think the fact that we've been healthy. And along with Quinn Hughes, it just makes our D better. We've never had, like I said, a player like that, a true bona fide number 1 D man that he's going to be. And then we've been healthy. We've been healthy, a lot healthier this year than we have in previous seasons. So those 4 things, I think: secondary scoring, health, goaltending, and Quinn Hughes. Harry, hi Clay, I just got home. Hello Harry, sorry I didn't get to see you at the game last night, but I hope you had as much fun as I did. Thanks for saying hi. Great game last night against the Sharks. I can't wait for the All-Star game in the playoffs for the Canucks. I am with you. Future looks bright. I am with you. All right, a few more reels. Do you think Horvat's going to get more or less than the last year? He got 61 points. Good question. He's at 42 and 49. That means he's got to get 20 in the next 33. I'm going to say it's going to be close, but I'm saying he's going to do it. I think Horvat's going to wind up with 65 points. What's new? Will Quinn break the rookie record? I'm not sure what you're talking about. If you're talking about rookie points by Canucks player, you'd have to remind me what that record is, and then I can give you an educated guess. Michael, hey, hi Clay, shoot him late. Congratulations, making paper super fan seat by CBC. Oh yes, Michael, you must be talking about the CBC article and interview. Thanks very much for that compliment. I appreciate it. Harry, any chance we'll see Goldie or Berchi next year for the Canucks? No, I don't think we're going to see them. I think, well, it depends on what happens with some of our free agents, both restricted and unrestricted, guys like Virtanen and Levo and Schaller. So spots are going to open up, but I know Colin's going to want a spot. I know Höglander and Podkolzin will, Podkolzin still 1 year away. Höglander will want a spot, maybe he's 1 year away. So I kind of think the ship has sailed with Berchi and Goldobin, especially Berchi, but we'll see what happens. Edmund, how close do you think Ovechkin will get to Gretzky's goal scoring record? I personally want to see him break the record. Going to be hard though. I'm kind of with you. It'd be exciting for us as modern day fans to see that. But I think, you know, a lot of things got to go well. He's got to stay healthy and play for X amount more years. So I think it's going to be tough. Okay, I think one of the boys is coming down, but we'll see. I'll keep talking. Chris, it is indeed. Oh, they're both here. Come on in. Give me 3 to 5 minutes. So we're being. Okay, why don't you come back in exactly 3 minutes? Okay, so it looks like we're going to get Jacob and Sean. So save up your questions for Jacob and Sean. They're going to come in 3 minutes at 10:50. So I'm going to whip through these. Nikita Trepkin coming back to the Canucks. Do you think it's going to happen? Would you like it to happen? Overall thoughts? Christopher, good question. I don't think Trampkin's better than any of the 6 guys that we have now. I would include Jordy Ben, any of the 7 guys we have now. I know you got to make a decision on Stetcher. You got to make a decision on Tanev. You got Brogan Rafferty wanting to crack the lineup. Olli Levy. It'd be nice. It's a feel-good story if Trampkin comes back, but I don't think we need him. And if he comes back, I still think he's only as good as a 6th, 7th defenseman. That's my thought. 8 defensemen on teamwork instead of 6. No, Fillmore. Generally, you're allowed 3 extra players. You could carry 13 forwards and 8D or 14 forwards and 7D. So 8D could work, but it doesn't really work because now you usually want to have 2 extra forwards as opposed to 2 extra D. That's just my personal opinion because you have more forwards to cycle through and there's more opportunities for line matching and switching and combos, but that's my opinion. DiPietro, Thatcher Demko, we may not have a choice, you know, because of DiPietro's potential. That might make it easier to say bye to Demko, but I like DiPietro. I need to see more of him though. I know he's got an awesome compete level. He's very athletic. He is small. That concerns me. So we'll see what happens. Has Besser fallen off? I've talked about this a few times already today. I'd say no, it might look like it, but he's still at a good point pace, and I think he's just trying to fine-tune elements of his game. Bronze Kodiak, hello, hi. Anula, so happy for the team's performance right now. Getting excited for the coming months. Greetings from Swedish Living in Copenhagen. Hello, Swedish Living in Copenhagen. So nice that you are joining us from overseas. West New Ellis Peterson rookie record. So that was the 66 points that Peterson got last season. No, I don't think Hughes is going to break 66. He only has 34, so he's only halfway there. I think Quinn Hughes is going to wind up between 50 and 55 points, which would be awesome. But I don't think he's going to break the 66 that Pedersen set. Howdy, Clay. Hello, Alfred. Nice to see you. Thanks for always contributing. So excited. Not some. I'm not sure what that means, but okay. So excited. Yes. So excited for the coming months. Dexter, what do you like about Colin's game? I think he's I like how big he is. I like his size. I notice him anytime he's on the ice. I think he's got good offensive ability, and I think he's a smart, he's a mature player. So for all those things, I'd love to see him get a shot in the lineup next season. Will Niels Hoglander be ready to play for the Canucks or Utica? Harry, I think Hoglander does one season in Utica before to adapt to the North American pro style of play. That's my guess. So how you doing? All right, Alfred. Hey, boys. Christopher, what CBC interview? I was interviewed on our Vancouver. Christopher, is an 8-minute piece. Got some really good feedback on it. I think it went really well, to be honest with you. But I've tweeted about that. I posted about that, and I'll share the link later. But I also shared it in my vlog from earlier today. So check it out if you want. Christopher, it was on CBC online yesterday and on TV today. Okay, last 4, and then we're gonna bring the boys in. True. Dean, why can't Canucks ever trade players when they're doing well like other teams so we can actually get something for them? Great question, Dean. I think there's always a fear that you're giving away someone at their peak or before they hit their peak, i.e. Cam Neely, but we've been on the good side of those type of trades before, i.e. Marcus Naslund. So I think it's much easier said than done. There's a lot of moving parts, and I think there is a fear, though, that you're giving away something, but sometimes you do got to take risks. I think that's a fair point. Elias Besserson, what do you think about Benning saying he wants to trade for a first? We'll see what happens. I didn't hear that, but that doesn't surprise me either. It'd be interesting to see what that's going to take. But yeah, I know we don't have a first round pick in the year that we give it to Tampa, of course. Alfred, if you were to choose one goalie, would you choose Demko or Markstrom? Alfred, you might have just missed. I like Demko a lot, but I think you got to stick with Markstrom. He's the more seasoned goalie, and you know what you're getting in him. As much as I like Demko. Edmund, curious, how many Canucks jerseys do you have? Last question, then I'm going to bring the boys in. I have about 9 or 10. 3 current players, Hughes, Besser, Pedersen. My son Sean has a Horvat. Then I have both Sedins. I have Luongo, and I have a Ryan Miller, and I have a David Booth of all things. So I think that makes 9 or 10 jerseys. I can hear my kids laughing. They'll be no goblin toss. I'm not going to say the name Ben. I'll say Dover. Ben Dover, because I know what you're trying to make me say. That's, how old do you think I am, Goblin Toss? Okay, West News says, bruh, Dean, you're not going to get a first unless you trade someone doing well. I agree with you, and that's what scares me, but I agree with you, Dean. And Harry, is DiPietro ready to join the Canucks once Jacob Markstrom contract expired? Yeah, if it's a 3 or 4 year contract, but if anything's shorter than that, like DiPietro's not ready this year. He won't be ready, maybe not for 1 or 2. I'd like to see him get another couple years playing in Utica. Okay, we cleared it. It's 10:51. Let's bring the boys in. Now, any questions going forward? So there's 45 watching you now. Thank you. While you're waiting for them to come in, hit the thumbs up. I will not complain. We'll bring Sean and Jake in. Every question going forward for the next 10 minutes will be to Sean and Jacob.
Have we had donations yet?
No donations this week.
Donate.
No, don't donate. Don't donate. It's fine. It's fine.
If you want to donate.
No, don't.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
sit down. Sit down. Have a
want
seat.
me?
Have a seat and just make sure that you're in the screen. Okay, so any questions going forward are for Sean and Jake. Jake, go lower because this always misleads people. No, okay.
There.
This is Sean, 18 years old. This is Jake, 16 years old. This is Sean, knows a lot about Canucks. This is Jake.
He knows even more about it.
Great guy. Okay, so let's see what we got. Okay, so here we go. These questions are for you. Number 1, Jacob, do you think the Canucks finish? Do you think that the Canucks finish, so a player from Finland, draft pick Sami Salo from 2016 will be a great defenseman? Do you think Sami Salo is going to be a great defenseman?
I don't think he plays anymore.
Oh, very good. Showing your knowledge. Okay. Do you remember him at all?
Yeah, Sammy.
He had a reputation for getting injured a lot, especially in the nether regions.
The nuts.
Yeah, got it.
Come on, I'm trying to keep a PG here.
Yep.
Okay, let's keep going. So how you doing? Do you think Perreault is going to target Virtanen? And if he does, what would Perreault get like 20 games if he does what he said in the interview, basically whack a stick?
Is he asking me?
You
That's
take
a
this
question
one.
for you.
Yeah, you take this one.
I don't think he's going to be stupid enough to throw a stick, especially because he kind of said it out loud already. I think it'll be one of those maybe like dirty cheap shots, scrum ensues, but after that, that'll be it. We don't play each other enough to make it a huge thing, I think.
Good answer. Nice and brief. Very good. Reels Dread, how you doing, lads?
Oh, nice to see you, Rios. Hope you're well.
But the question was, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm good, thank you.
Dexter, who would win in a fight?
I'd kill him.
I would win.
What would be your strategy to take down Jacob?
I'd just smoke him. Next.
I'd smack him in the face.
Okay, easy there. We'll go in order. Michael, hi Jacob and Sean. Does Jacob think the Canucks gonna win the Super Bowl?
Canucks don't play in the Super Bowl.
Who is going to the Super Bowl?
49ers and the oh, I had it today too. The Titans.
Nope. Other
Titans.
team.
And who do you think is gonna win the Super Bowl if you had to pick one right now?
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
That's because I don't like the 49ers.
Me too.
Fair enough. All right, this is good. Rats trying to see. What does that mean? Rats trying to see. LOL.
I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
Me three.
Alfred, question for both. Did you expect the Canucks to be first in the Pacific at this point of the season?
No.
They're first.
Why not?
I thought they'd be in the hunt, but I didn't think they'd be this good. And I guess I didn't see the other teams kind of maybe not underperforming, but not being as good as I thought they'd be.
And Jake?
I assumed that they would be first because they have 58 points, as I suspected. Better than Edmonton, Calgary with the 57. So
Two other teams with 57. Don't look to your right. Who are the two other teams?
Vegas,
Yep. And Arizona.
Arizona.
Close enough.
Arizona's an art. Next question.
Edmund, if you could catch that. I'm not sure what Edmund's saying, but
Read it out loud.
Rio, thoughts on Henrik Luongo? Jacob.
Henrik Long is not a player. I know this.
Chelsea Sushnov. Hi, Jacob. Hi, Chelsea.
Hi.
You can say hi nicer. Thanks for joining
Hi.
us. Hope things are going well. Holy Cross won the
Yeah, they
the Catholics basketball.
Good for them.
I'm glad you know that.
Yeah, I'm smart. I know what's going on. Jacob, how did you feel when the Canucks won the President's Trophy in 2015?
They did not do that.
Good, but have they won the President's Trophy?
Yes.
How many times?
Twice.
Oh, that's just
Really?
yeah. That's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Harry, hi Jacob and Sean. Who would win a fight if you had to choose between Tyler Myers and Zdeno Chara?
Ooh.
You know, see, the numbers have gone up since you guys have come on. That's embarrassing.
Exactly,
Okay.
because people like us.
Zdeno, Chara, because he's
I don't
big.
think that's how you spell Zdeno.
Don't,
Yeah.
we're not,
Oh,
we're not
sorry.
judging how they spell.
I think Chara, because Chara's the only guy I know in that fight.
Chara's definitely a bit beefier,
Yeah.
but he's kind of old, but I'll still go Chara.
Okay. Goblin Toss Gaming. Hi, Jake. Do you think that Biri Bertuzzi will get Rookie of the Year?
That's not
Okay,
real.
guys, if you're going to make up names, at least make them.
That's not real.
So he's got a chance to be tricked.
Good try, though.
Okay. Oh, this is a good question. Bertuzzi, Nasdaq, and Morrison had a nickname. They're called the West Coast.
Bears.
Sean?
Express.
Yeah, thank you.
Next.
Thoughts on California sucking?
It's about time.
Okay, just so you know, I'm sure he's referring to the fact that San Jose, Anaheim, and LA are the three teams nowhere close.
They're brutal.
Yeah. Jacob, they're traditionally stronger teams than that.
California.
Okay, thank you. Any other thoughts on that?
I don't
Okay,
know.
this is good. Does any one of you know the song Thunder?
Yes. By AC. No. By.
No, it's Thunderstruck. Anyways,
Thunder.
Nuts and Bolts wants me to do this mashup, but I'm not sure what songs he's talking about, but yeah, I'm sure I'll put it there.
All right, sounds good.
Question for Clay and Sean. Should Brock be taken off power play one? Sean.
No, I don't see, off the top of my head, I don't think anyone can replace him. And I think you got to have your 5 best players out there. And I'd still call Brock one of the best 5 players on the team.
I would concur, and I think that's one way, if we're talking about confidence for Brock, that's one way for him to get easier points and build up his confidence is playing with Pedersen, Hughes, Miller, Horvat on that first power play unit. Your thoughts?
Because that's the number one lineup.
Attaboy.
I was trying to say if Jake would catch the
Oh,
Sam.
okay, makes
Oh,
sense.
okay. Sorry, Edmund. Thank you.
Oh, I understand.
Hi T. Who will score most empty net goals? 21, who is, as you know, or 70?
Miller or
You know, okay. Erickson or Pearson? Who's going to score more empty net
who's
goals?
Pearson? Erickson.
Why?
Am I right? No. I'm the other guy.
No, they're both scoring a lot of empty net goals. Truly.
Because they get put on in those last
Yeah.
hard minutes,
Yeah.
and they just want to.
Sean. I don't know who has what.
I'll say Pearson with all of them being assisted by Erickson.
All right, Ocean. Should the Canucks try to boost their roster at the deadline with a trade or make a run with the current roster, thinking specifically of potentially acquire a winger for Horvat?
Wow.
They're not saying trading Horvat for a winger. They're saying finding a winger for Horvat.
I think it depends on the standings at the time.
Yeah.
If we're starting to fall off or if the other teams are starting to jump up. My only problem is finding a good top 6 forward. It's going to take a lot, and I don't think the Canucks are in a spot to give up a super high prospect yet.
Jacob?
Yes.
So how you doing? Jacob, pretty much winning the quiz. You're doing great.
Thank you. You too.
Real. Sean, do you like Marchand?
Oh, dude's a rat.
So how you doing? West Coast Liquor Store.
Yeah.
Keep going. I go get Mickey. Go Michael.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Who do you think gonna win?
Okay, Michael, who do you think going to win the Stanley Cup?
Are we talking this year?
Yes.
Either Vancouver. I think the final.
Look at the other divisions. you
No.
tool.
No, he's got.
I thought Vancouver and Edmonton will be the final. No, that's not possible.
Scroll up.
Who's on the other two sides?
Okay, while you're doing that, you give your prediction.
I think St. Louis.
I like.
Oh.
Who do I like? I like.
Philadelphia.
Okay, fine.
I like Pittsburgh this year. I think a healthy Pittsburgh, if they can get hot at the same time and get healthy at the right time, I think they can go far.
Okay, you
I
hurry
think
up.
Philadelphia and Vegas.
Okay, you heard it. You heard it here. Jacob's predicting a Philly Vegas Stanley Cup final. Okay, we got a few more minutes. Edmund, curious, what would be your go-to place for pizza guys? Or for pizza guys? Favorite pizza?
Pizza Hut.
Yep.
Yeah, Pizza Hut.
We're not gonna do all these. Harry asked, do you know all the Canucks current players' nicknames? I don't even know. Don't you just add an
know.
I or
Petey.
Petey,
Attaboy.
Millsy,
Jakey.
Huggy,
I don't know.
Marky.
I'm sure the Canucks YouTube channel has stuff on that. You can
That's
watch
right.
that.
Goblin Toss Gaming. Do you think that Jake Besserson is our best player, Jake?
Not. I know Jake Vertan and Brock Besser, and those guys are good, but not our best.
Nuts and bolts. Okay, if you stare on the Orca logo, you imagine dragons.
Oh, I get it.
I don't. You explain to me after. Christopher, who is on the Lotto 649 line? That's a good question.
Are you for him?
Try it. Who's on the Lotto 9? Who's on the Lotto
Is that
line?
a thing?
Yeah. I'll give you a hint. There's a 6, there's a 40, and there's a 9.
Oh, Brock
Yep.
Pedersen,
Yep. You're not going to get this last
You're
one.
not gonna get that.
PD.
Attaboy.
No, that's Pedersen.
Oh.
Miller. Okay, not bad. Real Dread. Finish this. Okay, this is for Jake. Henrik to...
Sedin. Oh shit. Daniel.
Yeah, okay.
Daniel.
Idiot.
Oh, TJ. Rank your favorite 5 Canucks at the moment. You first.
Gosh.
I'll go Horvat, Pedersen, Hughes, Besser. Let's go Markstrom.
Okay.
I like Pedersen, Miller, Besser, Horvat, and Sutter.
Okay, just so you know, Jacob just put up the top scores for the Canucks. And instead of trying to make it less obvious, he replaced Pearson with Sutter, but I think we all know what you're doing.
Nice.
Okay, very good. A few more. Hey, Sean, got a girlfriend? Don't worry, I'm a dude and straight, just wondering.
Fernando.
I appreciate you, Goblin Toss. I do have a girlfriend. She's actually over right now.
Yeah, but allowing Sean, not allowing, but hanging out with Mickey so we can do this. Yeah, good question. Good
Thanks.
answer.
Thanks, Goblin Toss.
Yeah. Jamie Sports Talk, you guys look a lot like your dad.
No, we don't. Next question.
No,
Ryan. The only reason
no,
why.
Be respectful. I'm running this. You guys are my guests. Just soak in the moment, boys.
What's that guy's name?
Next.
I like that guy.
Ryan.
Who
That
was
was
that?
Jamie's.
Yeah, Jamie's good.
Jamie's jams.
Okay, Ryan. The only reason why I think Brock should be taken off the power play one, he's not using his shot, too many passes. John Garrett has brought up that too many passes as well.
Yeah.
I
think.
Oh my gosh, we have
that-
more people watching now than last time.
This is awesome. I understand
I should
that
just
whole
leave.
passing thing, but I still think that he poses too much of an offensive threat to not keep out on that first power play, especially the way that they like to move the puck and look for the perfect shot. And I really like how the second power play is kind of going right now. I think they should keep it like that as well.
And in all seriousness, Sean, I said that Besser's not scoring as much because we have guys like Hughes, Pedersen, and Miller who can score. Right, so Canucks scoring is up, but we're scoring more goals overall. But there are more guys that can score.
And I think looking at the power play as a whole, they're really trying to push it to Hughes and Pedersen on that, I guess it'd be the right side. So he might not be getting the looks, but he's still always a threat.
Go ahead, Jake.
You see, Besser with a 14 PPP, he can do well in the future. So we shouldn't take him off because with Horvat, they can do well together.
Nice.
Okay, last 5 minutes. Tuna, that is Jake Bertanen's
Tuna!
nickname.
Shotgun.
Dexter,
Jake.
what do you think of Green's greasy lettuce? What do you think of Travis Green's hair?
I love it. It's good luck right now.
I've never heard of that guy.
Weston, Hu, are you happy that Kellen Lane is back in the Utica Comets? I didn't even know that.
Kellen Lane, really?
No, isn't he?
No.
Actually, you pointed out, these guys are going so fast. How long before DiPietro becomes the regular backup, and for who? Who's going to be the starter?
Ooh. I think DiPietro goalies definitely take a bit longer. Maybe at least another 2 seasons. And I think they really want to keep Markstrom, especially if he keeps playing this well. I think they might sign him to a big contract.
Okay, we're going to go really fast now because it's 11:04. We want to wind up in the last 5 minutes. I see our cousins on there, the ones that were just over. So let's get to the Miller should be called Thunder. What do you think?
It's all right.
Hey, Jake, sorry for trying to trick you. It's just funny for me.
Yeah, me too.
Christopher, true or false? In an NHL game, someone threw a live chicken on the ice.
False.
What do you say?
True?
I lie. I don't know if that's the name or she's saying that he lies.
Nice.
Who's the more handsome emo brother?
Me.
Do you guys like listening to Post Malone?
Yeah, he's solid.
Jay Fingers, Brock's wrist is an issue. It sure seems he had a wrist injury 2 years ago.
I think unless they say something, we just have to assume nothing's wrong.
He needs to fix it.
Christopher, true, someone did throw a chicken on the ice.
Nice.
Alfred, what's your take, PP1 and PP2? And if you were to choose one of those two, which one would you choose and why?
PP1.
PP1.
Why?
The players are just better.
1 is better than 2.
I do like the way that PP2 is direct. The way we were talking about this earlier today, right? Over dinner. The way they gain the zone, the way they take the shots, the puck. They take the puck to the net, straight line, right? Deflections, slap shots, one-timers. Guys like Pearson, Virtanen, Gaudette, Roussel all do that Myers. So that's a different look than PP1. Would you agree?
Different look, but I still take PP1.
Okay, here we go. Last few, Joshua Emo, our cousin Joshua, who we just saw an hour ago. Hi.
Hi.
Rios, what were you guys' reaction to Clay on our Vancouver on CBC?
Well, considering he still plays it every single morning, we were kind of getting used to it.
Yep. It was cool.
Thank you, Jake. You're a good son. Okay, last 5. Who is the Canucks' most important player?
Pedersen is still going to be the foundation of this team.
Troy Stetcher.
Nice. Richmond.
Who's the best NHL player, 20 player in the
Me,
family?
I'm the best child player, extended family included.
And that was a question from my awesome nephew, your guy's awesome cousin Joshua, who's also a good
What's up,
NHL
Joshua?
20 player. Nice to see you, Joshua. Thanks for coming on. Shouldn't we going to bed soon?
Yeah.
So should we. What is the name of the host that just...
Interb. Intern?
Intern.
Not sure what that means.
Skip.
Okay, come back, High T. Dexter, do you think Green could squeeze all the grease out of his lettuce onto fresh sliced pizza?
Well,
Don't
vegetables.
you like fresh slice?
Yeah, but vegetables aren't supposed to go.
It's a
on
little greasy, but it's cool. It's
Charlene
working.
Kellane is not in Utica. Last played for the Idaho Steelheads of the ECHL, so maybe they try to get us.
Eastern Conference.
Thank you,
Oh,
Charlene.
you got me, Charlene.
Oh, who just interviewed Clay on TV?
That woman.
That's a good question.
What's her name?
Do you remember her name?
Of course I do. She interviewed me.
What's her name?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
you're asking me?
Yeah.
Gloria Makarenko.
It was Gloria Makarenko.
All right.
G Money.
I don't think her name is G Money. Okay.
Oh, sweet.
And the last question. Jacob, I have the same B-Day as you on the 16th. How do you know? Did we say his birthday?
Of what
September
month?
16th. Okay, last 2 questions for sure.
Whoa.
Dexter, thoughts on Benning's jawline?
Benning's jawline. Never thought about it. Usually don't like to think too much of his appearance, but I like what he's doing with the team.
Jake, do you think Josh Highlander will be good for us?
Is that a guy's name? No, that's not right.
Weston New, Charlie, I meant to trick them. You did. Happy faces, LOL, LOL, Weston. All right. So, do you guys want to be here for my wrap up, or do you want to leave already?
We'll leave.
Yeah.
Well, say bye to everyone.
Peace out. God bless.
Peace out. We'll see you next
go
week.
Canucks. Go win.
Enjoy the All-Star break.
They're
even though
gonna
it's
play
kind of boring.
Vegas.
Goodbye.
Oh, my back.
All right. There we go. That's Sean, that's Jacob, and yes, Sean's lovely girlfriend Fernanda is in the next room, keeping Mickey at peace. Actually, my mom's over, she's sleeping over. My wife's upstairs, my daughter's somewhere. So yeah, I'm not sure why we do these things so late. I know why, because it's the best time for me. So thank you. Thank you to everyone who stuck around for this. An hour and 10, basically, almost 50 of you at every time watching. So I appreciate it. This week, the Canucks All-Star break, Quinn Hughes, Elias Pettersson, Jacob Markstrom, and then basically I'll be coming to you next Sunday with our next live stream. No NHL games per se, only one Pacific Division team playing, that's Vegas. And then we'll see if the Canucks are still in first place the next time we chat 1 week from now. So thank you for watching. Thank you for all the great feedback to the TD stuff I did yesterday, to our Vancouver, the interview. Make sure you check out that link. And I know they're trying to get in here. So thank you very much. Enjoy your week. Enjoy the All-Star festivities. And I can't wait to chat with you next week. Don't worry, I'm going to catch up on all these comments. I see them going like crazy. I'll catch up on all those comments in a second. Also, when this video gets posted, you can actually leave real comments as well. But I appreciate you. And if you want to hit the like button before you go, I would appreciate that as well. Have a great week. God bless. Go Canucks, go.